Hello, my name is Dr. Renee Martin-Nagle, and I'm going to be your instructor for this course in International Environmental Policy. First, I want to thank each of you for choosing to spend your time with me and with each other as we try to navigate the vast ocean of international environmental issues and how those issues are being addressed by policies. Each week we're going to address something different. And I hope that at the end, you'll have a much greater understanding of the world that you are inheriting so that you'll be able to make wiser choices for yourself. I've tried to upload into the first module for this course information about the various areas where you can earn points for this course, because I know that grades are important. So feel free to check back to those anytime. And as you go through the weeks, you'll see that we are addressing a different topic every week. I try to lay the groundwork in the beginning to let you know who the players are, and then we launch right into the issues. And you will learn about them through videos and through readings, and also through the work that you're going to be doing on your own. Sometimes some of the things that I've chosen will be viewed as somewhat alarmist, and to be honest, I'm a bit alarmed, and maybe you are too, because that's why you're taking this course. And yet I try to present solutions where I can, and I try to be a realist. So bear with me as we're going through the course. At the end, I promise you you will know a lot more than you did in the beginning. I've curated the videos for you. Some weeks you'll have a dozen or so very short videos. Some weeks you'll have a couple of long videos. But I spent hours and hours going through all the videos that are available so that I could pick the best ones in order to be able to teach you about the issues and give you some visuals that are much better than my talking to a PowerPoint. I think it's only fair to let you know who I am and why I'm teaching this course and how I came to you. So here's a little bit about me. I am a third generation Cambria County resident. My Italian grandparents came to Ebensburg and settled here. My father was born and raised in Ebensburg, and I grew up near Nicktown, which is about 10 miles outside of Ebensburg, and went to Bishop Carroll High School in Ebensburg, went to Mount Aloysius for my associate's degree, and to St. Francis for my bachelor's degree. My St. Francis advisor said, "You'd make a good lawyer. Did you take the LSATs?" And so finally, every time she saw me, she was telling me to take the LSATs, I did. And to my great surprise, I scored in the 99th percentile. So off I went to Pitt for law school. Then I moved to Dallas, Texas to be near my sister. And for the first 2 years after law school, I worked with Arthur Young as an international tax accountant. I wasn't very good at that. So I started looking for a legal job. And this French helicopter company was looking for its first lawyer in the United States. So I had 5 job offers. I took that one because I thought it would be the hardest, and it was. It was very hard to be the first lawyer in my first job. And after 4 years, that company, which was called Aerospatiale Helicopter Company, was one of the partners of Airbus at that time. So Airbus knew about me, and as I said, after 4 years, I landed a job as the first in-house counsel for Airbus in North America. So I was the head lawyer there for 21 years. But when my first grandson was born, I had been reading about environmental issues, and I was growing increasingly concerned. And the night before my first grandson was born, there now too, I was in New York hearing Jane Goodall speak, and she talked about all the things that she was doing to make a positive difference in the world for her grandchildren. And I thought, well, what am I doing except making a lot of money? So the next morning, my daughter went into labor early, and I took the train from New York to Baltimore and vowed on that train ride that I would spend the rest of my life dedicated to environmental causes. That was April of '07. By August of '07, I was back in law school at night getting a master's of law called an LLM from George Washington University, and I gave Airbus 3 years notice that I would be resigning at the end of 2010. In May of 2010, I graduated with highest honors, and my thesis won an award in March of 2011 for environmental scholarship. My thesis was on water, specifically fossil aquifers. I left Airbus in January of 2011, not knowing where I was going to go, what I was going to do. And this environmental think tank in DC picked me up as a pro bono visiting scholar. I started publishing and speaking from that vantage point as a scholar. And this university in Glasgow, Scotland heard about me and through word of mouth from my publications and invited me to come and get a PhD. So I sold my house in Northern Virginia, moved to Glasgow, Scotland to study a PhD in, once again, aquifers, but this time offshore aquifers, buried under the continental shelves around the world. And I was very happy in Glasgow, loved it, great city, great country. But my mother developed congestive heart failure at the age of 89. So 2 years ago, I moved back to Evansburg to take care of her. She's now 91 and she's still going strong. Thanks, I think, to aggressive management. And I've spent the last 2 years here publishing, still publishing. And I started teaching at St. Francis in the spring. So I've spent 10 years now as a scholar. This is the 4th time that I've taught this course. The first time was to law students at Pitt. The next 2 times were first to law students and then to all master's students at the University in Glasgow, where I was a PhD student. This is a topic that I'm obviously passionate about because I feel as though, you know, it's your world. You need to know what's going on. And believe me, I have learned from being a scholar, it is hard to get to the bottom line truths. And as I said, you may view some of these videos and readings as alarmist, but you know, there's some scary stuff going on out there. And I'd like, to the extent of my ability, to raise awareness so that you can make better choices in your own lives, and maybe you can spread awareness too. This is a fully online course. We will never be scheduled to meet, unfortunately, because I love meeting with you. I would love to see all of you at least once a week, but that's not how it's designed. So I'm going to have a Zoom office hours every Tuesday at 5 o'clock. And if you want me to, I'll come to campus. If you want to speak on the phone, I'm happy to do that. If you want a video call via any of the platforms, I'm happy to do that. Ask me any question, anytime, email, video, I don't care, because it's my passion to inform you to the extent of my ability and to the extent of your interest. So I think that's it for the beginning. I'm going to stop now, and feel free to email me anytime, and let's start on the journey. And I hope that at the end of it, you'll know a lot more than you do now. Bye.